So thank you very much for joining here today. So my name is Nilani Ganeshwaran. I'm a senior software developer and manager of the digital development team in the University of Manchester Library. So I'm going to talk about open access compliance platform, a tool that we have developed to manage and monitor the submission of research outputs and their compliance with open access policies. So, who we are, digital development team. So we are an embedded software development team within the library. So for over 10 years, we have been developing innovative research support and administrative software like OACP to help improve our customer experience and enhance our service delivery. So before we dive into this tool, I want to talk about Pure and research at Manchester. So since 2016, my colleagues at the library have been working with Pure. This is to validate, update, and optimize metadata. So far they have handled over 250,000 research outputs in Pure. So this high quality metadata serviced on the Research Explorer helps to improve the discoverability and visibility of our research at Manchester. So subset of this publication data is also extremely valuable for reporting on open research, which is a key strand of the University of Manchester's research strategy. As always, there's a story behind this tool too. So the research services team, so another parallel team in the library, was using spreadsheets to record and monitor compliance with open access policies. So the team was manually copying and pasting data from Pure to the spreadsheet and doing manual checks on external system. So as an innovative team, we started exploring Pure's web services. So we were thrilled about how simple it was to use. So the documentation was really helpful, and most importantly, we were able to retrieve what we want without much difficulty. So we successfully implemented the version 1 in 2018 and then imported 14,000 records from spreadsheet into OACP. So we further developed this application in incremental releases, like what we call is agile development. And we have released this version 2, a major release a couple of months ago. And there are 13.5 thousand records in system, 13,500 records in system now. So I don't think that the research services team will be able to manage this number in a spreadsheet. So the integrations, this is the heart of these applications. So the Pure is the key integrations. So we retrieve all the publication metadata from Pure. That's what I'm showing here is from Pure. And Pure is the single point of truth. As you can see, like all the fields which we retrieve from Pure are not editable. And you can see, like, if they want to go to Pure, they can click on the Pure ID and it's deep link to the Pure record. So they don't need to go on the browser to Pure. And also they can click on the Pure portal URL so they can easily go to the Research Explorer. Also, we keep this application data on sync with Pure data by doing nightly checks, automated jobs go and check Pure data and update this record. And then the other interesting integration was this integration with Sherpa. So because we use the Pure's journal web service to get the publisher information for this record, and then we post that information to Sherpa and get the required embargo period, and we automatically include that information for the team. And the next one is the cross-ref integration. So again, all the unpublished records details are posted to cross-ref on a nightly basis to identify whether a record has been published and the DOI. And we mark the record like this. So we put an alert there. So what the team will do is they go in and update the pure record. They click here on the pure ID, go to pure, update the pure record as published, and then add the accurate embargo dates and also the correct DOI. So previously, before this application, they were manually performing all these tasks. So they have to jump between different systems to complete these tasks. So these are the additional information we capture for each record as part of this application. So you can see this schema is extensible and flexible. I think when we released the version 1, we had around 3-4 fields, and now we are growing this many fields. And I think I don't know how much clear these are. Like, for example, data access statements and right to retention statements are the recently introduced fields, and the team checks the, I think, author, the manuscript, and then identify this information. And the compliance ones are the key ones for reporting, ref compliance and UKRI compliance statuses. And the record status, we have an additional record status here. This is to manage this record until in local status, to manage the record until it meets the compliance. So also we retrieve the file URL. That's not editable. There's a minor tweak we need to do. So file URL also, we retrieve that information via Pure's web services. So we going to call the Scholarsy API. So one click, you can call the Scholarsy API. So the Scholarsy, this is some further integration with Scholarsy. Like, Scholarsy is like an online article summarizing tool. So what we need to do is either you can post the PDF file, actual PDF, or you can post the URL to the PDF file. So what it does is it reads the given article and in seconds, and it's so quick, and it breaks down into bite-sized sections, so you can quickly access the summary information. So this is a screenshot of the summaries. So the team, they are using the headlines and the key statements in series of tweets about these research outputs. So previously they need to log into Scholarsy, then manually upload the file and copy and paste. That's everything in one place now. So combining pure metadata with data from other sources and internal data, so allowed library to report more effectively on open access policy compliance throughout the structure of the institution. We can produce the reports for faculties, schools, and even at the university level. And this has increased the uptake of open research practices and also has driven decision making at University of Manchester. So this is the interface to produce all kind of custom reports. You can see this as a rich search interface. You can do search by different fields and filter the records, which you can view in the table below. And just one click, you can export into an Excel file. And then you can sometimes combine it with Power BI to produce some interesting dashboards, which we can then share it with faculties and schools research managers. These reports provide useful information for stakeholders about the rules to comply and supporting targeted advocacy. So I'll show you an example report. This is a quarterly trend of ref compliance for a particular school. So you can see from each quarter, like how many records are green or gold compliance or not compliant. So this information is very useful for identifying problem areas and providing targeted support. So the flexibility of OACP allows us to respond in an agile way to the ever-changing OA policy landscapes and to the local strategic priorities. For example, recently we introduced this right to retention statement and data access statement. So this is a report, like how many records are complying with that. So like it's a good example for how flexible this schema is. So UK's RI's upcoming policy on OA monographs and forthcoming changes to RIF OA policy will undoubtedly require capturing additional fields as part of this application. So we are in the process of developing a couple of additional layers to this application. So we have OACP V2 for the research services team. That's a read and write application. So building the My Open Research. This is going to be a read-only view for faculty admins or school admins. So they can log into the system and they can produce these reports without that reports need to go to their research services team. Then and there, they can do those reports. And also researchers can log in and see the compliance of their individual records on read-only mode. And the third one is we are going to produce some aggregated summary reports for this. It's going to be publicly available, like for universities' compliance on, to showcase universities' compliance on different policies. So, this application is a good example for how best we are utilizing Pure's web services to enhance our services at University of Manchester. So the code is open source. That means if you think this can be a tool for your team at your institutions, you can try it on. And if you are interested to know more about this application or would like to get any more details or to like to work with us, please contact me. That's my email address. Thank you.